Just to illustrate the style, there's a big difference in style and what you actually get from a local school versus an international school. Great English, poor Chinese, great English. Unfortunately, we're forced to choose. We cannot have our cake and eat it. So which type of school is offering great Chinese and poor English? A local school. Poor Chinese and great English, the international schools. There are a few exceptions. There are a few exceptions. And which schools make you poor? The international schools. Okay. In terms of approach, they do vary greatly. I taught teachers in local schools for more than a dozen years. It was interesting. So, local schools, is it the first description or the second description? Second. And therefore international schools it's such a different approach to teaching and learning. So yeah. If you're not sure, we always suggest that you start with the local system and then you can transition to the international system later on. By starting with the local system, your child will acquire the requisite Chinese language proficiency and hopefully has also acquired the requisite English language proficiency and then can move into an international school later on, usually for secondary school, for an easier transition to an overseas university. This is the very common path. You cannot do it the other way around. You can't start your child in an international school and try to move him or her to a local school. He will never ever forgive you. So it's this direction, but not the other direction. Okay. All right, so we talk about where you are in terms of your age and grade and the local system versus the international system. Have you visited schools? It's really, really necessary. Again, going back to applications, we're amazed at how many parents put in applications to schools that they haven't visited. They just heard the name. Someone said it was good. So we really encourage you to visit the schools, both parents. If you can't go on the same day, make 2 appointments. In some schools it's mandatory. In some schools they tell you that it's mandatory, but in some schools they don't tell you that it's mandatory, but they really want you to visit. Because the first time that you make contact with the school, it's recorded. And therefore they've opened a file on your family. And every time you call them, you visit, you go there, you have an interaction with whoever it is in the school, it's recorded. This forms part of your child's application. So when time comes, your child has been assessed, they're going to go back and review the notes in the file. If you did book a visit and you didn't show up, it's recorded. If you book a visit and you show up, and you're constantly on your phone and you're distracted, or you happen to have a few bad, crosswords with the receptionist, it's recorded. So do visit the schools, but do be on your best behaviour. So we say to treat it like a job interview. Okay. Most international schools will welcome prospective parents to visit, some don't, and we can usually arrange visits in those different scenarios.